Hello everyone, I'm Sam Oustayiannis, a Senior Associate at CMS working in the Gaming and Media practice.
And I'm Jess Wilkinson, a colleague in Sam's team.
Apologies we can't be with you today, we would have loved to be and we hope to be soon in the future. So who is CMS? Well, we're an international full service law firm, but worry not, we're not going to be talking to you about law today. Instead, what we're going to talk to you about is the esports industry and the direction it's going on based on what we've seen ourselves and some of the deals we've actually worked on. So, where are we now? Well, the last couple of years we've seen increasing integration of esports into popular culture, and esport has really caught the attention of some fabulous brands, some fabulous companies. And Jess is going to talk to you a little bit later about some of those deals, but to name some names who are now playing in the market, we've got the likes of Adidas, we've got the likes of Gucci, and we've got some more traditional media platforms such as the BBC and some of the new guys on the block such as Spotify. Why are these organisations interested in esports? Well, one reason is viewing figures and another reason is revenues. So starting with the viewer figures, we're continuing to see unrivaled growth in the industry, to be honest. So in 2019, we had about 400 million eyeballs watching esports throughout the year. 2020, that increased by about 10%. And 2021, we're expecting another 10% growth, which would be about 480 million viewers. What's really impressive about that? Well, by about 2030, 10% of the world's population should be watching esports.
And I think what's also really interesting is that 50% of that esports audience is actually considered to be enthusiasts in esports who are regularly watching that content.
Absolutely, and that's great news for revenue streams because that means these individuals are tuning in, day out, watching esports content. Approximately about 5% of the world's population, if reports are to be believed, by about 2030. What does increased eyeballs mean? Well, it means increased revenues. So in 2021, revenues are expected to pass about £1 billion. So in fact, about £1.1 billion is what experts predict. And that's expected to grow year on year by between 10 and 15%.
And the UK actually holds about 8% of that share in the global market, which is really exceptional given the size of the country.
Yeah, and absolutely, and it's really testament to our creative industry. So when you're comparing us to the likes of the US and the likes of China, the likes of South Korea, we really are a small player, but we're still managing to hold a big chunk of that money. But then something called COVID happened, and it really brought into question a lot of these revenue models. So, for example, a lot of you may know that one of the ways that esports was monetized pre-COVID is huge events, huge exhibition halls, sale of merchandise, sale of apparel, and the tap turned off. But what was particularly impressive is the money didn't stop. So I think as we're coming out of COVID, we're going to start to see a lot more innovative deals, a lot more collaborations, and we're going to have to see the way that the revenues come in possibly change a little bit. So one thing that people are predicting to happen is a different approach to media deals. So traditionally, esports has been about being accessible, watching things for free on the likes of Twitch. We may start to see, esports going on to traditional paid platforms. They're already starting to go to things such as BBC iPlayer. So that's going to be particularly interesting and a space to watch. Also, we're starting to see the betting industry becoming a lot more interested in this field. It's a sport that's constantly available, that's being played 24/7, and so there's a real interest there. What we also saw coming out of COVID is a lot of research into the inclusivity and the diversity in esports. So if those of you who have watched esports in the past, you know a lot of the advertisement is very male targeted. But what is interesting actually is well over 30% of the esports audience is female. So the way that brands are going to unlock this potential is certainly something to watch out for. And then lastly, the increased in power in mobile. And what I mean by that is the iPhone 13, your Samsungs, they are all becoming more sophisticated. So the days of having to spend thousands upon thousands of pounds on headsets, on powerful computers is pretty much over. You will be able to enter esports tournaments just from your mobile device. And as a result of that, we're seeing a lot of organizations really try to tap into that market, League of Legends just being one example. And so how are the esports teams making money today? Well, predominantly it is still sponsorship, so about 60% of all revenues continues to be sponsorship. But like I said above, there's going to be a lot more opportunities in the years to come. So over to you, Jess.
Sure, yeah. So I'll go into a bit more detail now about the kind of trends we're seeing in monetization in esports. And we're increasingly seeing brands collaborating with stakeholders in the esports industry in order to reach consumers and also to effectively future-proof their brand as well. So a really good case study of this, I think, is Adidas, who are demonstrating a wide variety of opportunities that they can get involved in esports. So some of those examples include a sneaker collaboration with Team Vitality. They were the technical sponsor for Team Heretics. They were also the apparel provider for Grow Up Esports. And we've also seen them partnering with individuals, including players such as Tyler, aka Ninja Brevins. But the brand collaborations aren't just those that you might more traditionally expect in esports, such as with sportswear apparel brands. So we've also seen brand collaborations with kind of more casual footwear brands such as Crocs, who partnered with Gen.G in 2021 this year for a Minecraft build competition. So they use this partnership to actually market its new all-family tie-dye collection to gamers. We've also seen an increasing proliferation of digital goods as well featuring on esports platforms. So the Italian luxury fashion brand Gucci have actually done several collaborations since 2020, and not just in physical goods such as watches. They've also moved into selling and also marketing digital goods on the platforms too. They collaborated with Roblox in 2020, which is a platform with more than 150 million active players. In the virtual Roblox world, Gucci ran a limited time event where they created a garden space that offered digital replica Gucci goods that the gamers could purchase for their Roblox avatars. These actually sold quite cheaply on the platform, but Roblox players actually began to trade them within the in-game marketplace. And well, these actually developed collector's item status.
Yeah. And what was, sorry to interrupt you, Jess, but what was fascinating about that is you had digital Gucci handbags trading in the marketplace for over $4,000, so more than actually some Gucci physical handbags themselves.
Absolutely, yeah. We've also seen activity as well in the kind of audio and music streaming space. So as Sam mentioned earlier, in 2020, Riot Games announced a partnership with Spotify where they made Spotify the official audio streaming partner for the League of Legends Esports League. And we've also seen activity with non-fungible tokens as well, which has been really interesting. EVOS Esports announced a collaboration with the NFT project Sora's Dream World, where the collaboration effectively launched customized EVOS Esports themed avatars, which were called Dream Machines. And these were NFT avatars, which were minted on the Ethereum blockchain.
And EVOS are doing some absolutely great things, actually. So it seems every day they're doing a new collaboration. So only a couple of days ago, they announced a new food brand collaboration where they're aiming to bring convenient food to viewers. So I think we're running out of time, Jess. So we'll stop there. But thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you again in person next time. And in your packs in front of you, you should have some details about CMS. And if you'd like to contact us and continue the conversation, please feel free. Thank you for joining us today.